I got 5 o'clock, so we're going to call the meeting to order. Open Meetings Act is posted on the northwest wall, as always, for your reading pleasure. Lisa, would you go ahead and call the roll?
Heather?
Here.
Brad?
Yes.
Kent?
Here.
And Dustin is absent.
Well, 3 out of 4 ain't bad. Would you all join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, everybody. Move on to the consent agenda. As always, you can consider all those items in one motion or separately if there's something you would like to.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second it.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Go ahead and call the roll.
Brad?
Yes.
Kent?
Yes.
Heather?
Yes.
Consent agenda passed unanimously. Move on to, don't have any appointments this month. Working on a couple, but still waiting to hear back some things. So maybe next month we'll have a few appointments to catch up on. No report from me this month. No public hearings or old business. So, first item on the regular agenda is to consider a special designated liquor license for the Ainsworth Golf Course. This is for the Ainsworth Booster Club fundraiser held here at the Conference Center on August 14th from 5 p.m. to 12 a.m. You know, this is an event that annual event. I think maybe this is the second year the golf course.
It's the first
This is
year
the
the
first
golf
year the
course.
golf course has done it, but it's an event that has been here before, so I don't think there's anything controversial about it necessarily. Robert was maybe going to be here, but I don't see him, so.
I'll make a motion to approve the designated liquor license application for the Ainsworth Golf Course for the Ainsworth Booster Club fundraiser at the Ainsworth Conference Center on August 14th, 2026 from 5 p.m. to 12 a.m. August 15th, 2026.
I'll second.
Motion and second, any discussion? Call the roll.
Kent?
Yes.
Heather?
Yes.
Brad?
Yes.
Motion carried unanimously. Next item, discuss urban forestry. A grant from Middle Niobrara and IRD. I assume that's you fellas back there. I should have talked to you before, but yeah, what do you have to share with us today?
Yeah, James Battershaw from Middle Niobrara NRD in Valentine, Nebraska. I'm the Natural Resources Coordinator. This is Katie Bowers with the Nebraska Forest Service. Middle Niobrara received $120,000 in grant funding for Brown County for urban community forestry through the Inflation Reduction Act. And we are looking at doing removal and replacement here in town of trees that are dying, disease, damaged, what's the word? Dead, dying, dangerous disease. How it's going to go is the plantings are 1 for 1, 1 removal, 1 replacement tree per landowner person, and then we're going to do some pruning also for municipalities. Just wanted to share that with you guys ahead of time. We're going to get a public news release out probably in the next month.
Great.
So like somebody on their lot here in town
Yes.
will apply?
Yep, we do have 2 QR codes. Did I forward those to you? I will need to do that. There's going to be an online application, and I will get you a hand copy for those that don't want to do the online version. But yes, pruning is for municipalities specifically, and then the removal and replacement is for public overall.
Is it 1 tree per household or how?
Yeah.
1 tree?
Yeah.
Does that, do you grind the stump too, or just talk a little bit about the process?
Grinding is normally involved. Grinding is normally involved. You want to take the tree completely down,
Okay.
getting the majority of it removed.
Wow.
Yep.
it's probably not something beneficial to our cemeteries and stuff like that, that we, I know our South Cemetery trees are looking pretty bad, they're old and wind hit and stuff, but probably not something we can do with our cemeteries, add some new trees in there or nothing. Get
Yeah,
started.
pretty much anything that's used within the public benefit is, all these grant funds are being used mostly towards like street trees for shade for the streets and sidewalks, your parks, cemeteries, golf courses, all that stuff's public.
Okay. So it would be nice to maybe find an area of a cemetery or something and,
So for the municipality though, it's just trimming, you said, right?
Yes.
Not removal or replacing a tree?
They can't do a removal and replacement.
For like for the public?
Just one.
Municipalities can, this depends on how your contract application is written up, but city properties can remove stuff if they want to, but this depends how the contract's written up.
Okay.
And we are working currently on an inventory here on town. We're plotting all the trees down every street. Majority of them, we're going from the sidewalks 20 foot into the property, not any further, so that way we're not doing too many backyard alley street trees.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
So are you kind of trying to identify
yeah,
trees that, hey, these ones are a problem or whatever? And
exactly,
You-
beforehand, so that way
Great.
when we do the applications, we can already have them ranked out and have an idea of which ones need to come down.
Then you have the contractor, you guys do that work, or you contract with someone, or?
Yeah, we will contract out,
Okay.
and if it doesn't get contracted out, most likely the NRD will take over and do it ourselves,
Okay.
depending on the situation and liability.
Okay, thank you.
Good. And maybe you said, and I missed it, but what's the timeline you're looking at to like get the information and maybe start the work?
We have, about a month until we kind of start really getting into it.
Okay, so yeah,
A month until we really start getting into it, but this is going to be a 2.5-year project.
Oh,
No. Okay.
Thank you guys.
Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Very-
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that
great.
sounds great. Trees are great, but a little maintenance on them, just like anything, gotta be maintained.
Will you hit up the landowners that you say, hey, here's a nasty tree? I mean, are you gonna inform them that it's eligible, or it's just kind of up on them to,
Depends.
Apply.
We may get involved a little bit more and
Yeah.
kind of do that.
because there might not be some people that are even aware.
Yep.
Okay.
If a lot of applications aren't coming in, we'll do something else. We'll door knocking.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
thank you.
cool.
Sounds great.
Sounds like a good project. All righty, next item is to discuss a recommendation from the LB 840 Loan Committee to approve a business loan application 26-04 in the amount of $49,717 with a 5-year treasury note at prime plus 2%, paid monthly and secured by a second deed of trust on real estate. I know the committee met yesterday or Monday? Yesterday, and went through that. That's their recommendation. I don't know if you got anything to add to it, or if anybody has any questions.
Is that, I have a question, sorry, is it prime or is it T-bill rate? I thought it was T-bill plus 2.
Sorry, I thought Jim said prime.
I think our guidelines say T-bill.
It says here, 5-year treasury note at prime plus 2.
If that was a recommendation, we could better leave it, I don't know.
While you were there, did you hear it different?
Well, I think our guidelines are T-bill, because we originally looked at T-bill, and that's what he was asking me what the T-bill is, and we talked about the T-bill changes daily. So it would be T-bill on the date the city council meets.
Do we need to note that though, or we just approve 2604?
Yeah, you can just note it, I mean, that'll come in your closing docs.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, they
Yeah,
said
just as
that.
long as the docs have it, right?
Right.
No, I don't have any questions. I looked at stuff on it. You good.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Sporting.
I move we approve the LB 840 Loan Committee Application 26-04 in the amount of $49,717. You want me to read all the rest of that? Okay.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? Go ahead and call the roll.
Heather,
Yes.
Brad,
Yes.
Kent,
Yes.
Motion carried unanimously. I think we'll jump up to the next resolution, discuss and consider resolution number 2603. That's the League Association of Risk Management renewal for 26-27. Of course, this is our insurance.
I did look back at last year's rates. We paid, with the 5% discount last year, we paid $138,338 as a total. This year, or excuse me, yeah, $138,338. This year, at the 5% discount rate, it'd be $139,243. So
So that's less than 1% rate.
It's not,
Yeah.
not too terribly different from last year, which is
They must
kind
have
of a,
miscalculated.
That's just what I was thinking, is there
It's-
something wrong here?
Well,
At this next meeting and say, oh, we made a mistake.
in their letter, they had indicated that they did a 0% increase on property and a 0% increase on
38,
liability and a 5%
38.
adjustment to work comp. So, yeah, kind of comparing the numbers side by side. Work comp went up just a hair. General liability actually went down from last year. Errors and omissions were the same, law enforcement same. Auto liability went down just a hair.
Something went down.
Auto physical was the same. Commercial property went up about $3,000.
Did your law enforcement go way down after you switched to a code enforcement officer? Did you?
Yeah.
Of course, you guys have been contracting with the sheriff prior to that, so that's what I was gonna say, I don't know how you're, what you would even cover, what that would even cover for the city.
I've had this conversation with them before, back when we had the contract, as to why we were paying insurance on that. And basically, it's just because we still have some kind of liability, even under a contract, of what that entity is doing.
Okay.
So we could be countersued or.
And for $2,400, you're covered.
Oh, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
got it, not a big
Yeah.
amount anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about a little less than $2,500 is what that line item is, even with code enforcement. I think it was about that prior as well.
So this is what we're approving tonight to do with health insurance.
Right, so the total annual, if you renewed at no discount, would be $146,572. And in the past, we've done the 5% discount, puts it at $139,243.
It's not very often we get an insurance renewal, it's 0.7% increase.
Well, not for us, anyway.
I was hoping health insurance could have that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good.
And we have had a valuation within the last, can't remember if that was last year or the year prior, that they came and revalued all of our properties, so. There was a note in their letter or something about if you hadn't had that it was a 5% increase, but we have had that, so.
I'll make a
Yeah,
motion,
well, it
go
looked-
ahead.
I was just gonna say, it looked to me like what we need is a motion to authorize me to sign the resolution.
And
If
then
if
at
that's
what-
what you
At what rate you would like to renew?
I'll make a motion to have the mayor sign resolution number 26-03, League Association of Risk Management renewal for 2026-27 at the 5% rate for $139,243.
Second.
Motion and a second, any other discussion? Go ahead and call the roll.
Kent,
Yes.
Heather,
Yes.
Brad.
Yes. Motion carried unanimously.
When does health insurance renew?
We just did that.
We just
Yeah,
did
it's
that,
trying-
the policy year started July 1.
Okay.
So we did open
Open
enrollment
enrollment.
in June, yeah.
All right.
All right, next item on the agenda is discuss extraterritorial zoning jurisdiction. Carol's here. This is something I assume this is related to what we've discussed the last couple meetings. We're hoping there's some new information. We don't want to rehash what we've been through before. I think the council has been pretty succinct in what their views were. So what's the new information, Carol?
Yes, well, I'll kind of reiterate kind of what we went over, but with my new information, we've established I'm in the 1 mile jurisdiction, and that I have been said that this is a subdivision, and it is duly surveyed and platted and recorded with the Brown County Clerk in 1980. So what I wanted to read was the Nebraska statute 17-1001, that any city of the second class or village may apply by ordinance any existing or future zoning regulations, property use regulation, building ordinances, electrical, plumbing, within its territorial zoning jurisdiction, with the same force and effect as if such area was within its corporate limits. And no such ordinance shall be extended or applied so as to prohibit, prevent, or interfere with the conduct of the existing farming or livestock operations. So anyway, my asking would be that we have a reasonable number. I'm not adverse to animals, I like animals, but I think there's a reasonable number that should be considered when it's like 0.88 acres, which is less than the size of a football field, which is an acre without the end zones. So I'm asking if you could consider a reasonable number due to sanitation, noise, and health of the animals, and they need shelter and fencing, plus their housing. And I wanted to point out that your Ainsworth City ordinances say nothing about any reasonable number. It just lists that each one must have a permit and the amount of acreage. And it's also interesting to note that hogs or swine aren't particularly listed as an option for a permit. And this is in your zoning regulations of section 3, where it talks about that in your zoning. So, in the first one, section 3-302, animals, semicolon, permit required. It shall be unlawful for any person to keep or maintain within the corporate limits any horse, mule, sheep, cow, goat, swine, that'd be hogs, or other livestock, except as provided in this article. And then it goes on about permits. And in section -3-306, and permits and area requirements. And there's no swine listed here. It says no permit shall be issued unless the owner shall provide an enclosure that has, as a minimum, the following area. A horse has to have 1 acre for each animal, sheep, 1/2 acre for each animal, goats, 1/2 acre for each animal. And like I said, there's no swine listed in that as far as your corporate limits. So, it seems to me that if, I'm asking a reasonable number, they aren't even listed in your corporate limits. So, I'm asking, would it hurt to have a zoning ordinance in place? Common sense and reasonableness in this matter, I think, would be appropriate. And so I would appreciate having the same restrictions you do in the corporate city in my 1 mile zoning jurisdiction. So, like I said, I would like to have a happy retirement and not be worried about animal concerns. So I have a proposed zoning ordinance that perhaps you can look over and decide for the future here. That it, basically what is said, that you can, a city can apply for an ordinance of any existing or future zoning regulations, because this would be if there was any other subdivisions, and the property use and building ordinances, and like I went through the electrical, plumbing ordinances, within its extraterritorial zoning jurisdiction with the same force and effect as if it were within your corporate limits, and that's under the Nebraska statute 17-1001. And so anyway, that no such ordinance should be extended or applied that prohibits those existing ones. And so if this was, this operation we're talking about was grandfathered in, and if the owner failed to continue with it, this grandfather clause would be null and void. And of course, they would need to obtain a permit from the city for these animals, and subject to code officer inspection, I presume. So this is my proposed that I will give you, and hopefully that you can consider in my behalf. So that's all I have to say at this, and I appreciate you hearing me out and possibly considering this ordinance in my behalf. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, Carol.
Mhm.
You know, you went through a lot of stuff and it was all accurate, other than, I mean, the section 3 you mentioned, that's the corporate limits. That's not, the 1 mile jurisdiction is different than the corporate limits. And I believe everything outside the 1 mile, or outside the corporate limits is zoned ag residential. And the ordinances are different for that. And as near as I can tell, in my discussions with council members and from the last couple of meetings, they don't have any interest in changing the ordinances on ag residential. And if I'm speaking out of turn, you guys can tell me that, but I think that's been the consensus up to now. So I don't know that that's going to change, but appreciate your information, and
But it
I'm
is,
sure they'll all take it under consideration.
it is a subdivision, so I think that should make it a little bit different, because that's been recorded by the grantor back in 1980, and is surveyed and platted into lots. So it, on record, is listed as being subdivision.
Well, I think the parcel has been divided, but I don't know that that makes it a subdivision.
Can we get clarity on that? Like, is there any way to have clarity as to what that word means?
We could probably ask. If you want us to, we could have Lisa get a hold of Michael and ask for an interpretation of that.
It's probably necessary.
Okay.
I guess I'm gonna disagree. I don't think we can spend more money on legal on this, but that's where I'm at. I mean, Carol, I appreciate what you're saying, and the language is 17-100, it said may, and I'm not gonna tell somebody, considering where we're at in this community and all the row crop and the animal agriculture it happens within a mile, that someone can have a few hogs on their property. So I appreciate your concerns about it, but I also think we'd be opening a can of worms legally.
But if you had the same ordinance that you have in the corporate and extended it out, there shouldn't be any can of worms.
Well, I think there's, from what I've gleaned from Lisa and what she's brought back from the lawyer, that I think you're stepping into a quagmire. You try to force ordinances like that outside the city limits.
If it
Basically,
is-
the way we understand the 1 mile is for building zoning regulations. Because again, those people, we're not collecting taxes from them, we're not enforcing city ordinances for speeding, et cetera. You know, it's just fireworks ordinance, anything else.
Yeah, I think what the council is saying is they don't consider the 1 mile jurisdiction the same as
The city proper.
within the city limits.
I agree. I think
So I'm kind of in no man's land then, because the county
It-
says no.
it is a unique area, but I don't think we can enforce some outside of, if someone comes in and they're gonna put a building up,
Drill a well.
put up a tower for cell service, all that kind of stuff.
So, but then why did we have to get a building permit back when we built then? That was under the city, and we were under the jurisdiction of the city. And in 1983, when we built, we had to have a building permit.
Was that it? That
Is the
1
each-
mile
zoning.
I was
extension
gonna say, the
extended there?
ETJ is
Yeah.
all about building and use, land use.
So it doesn't seem like if the land use is one way, why is it not
Yeah.
follow into animals and this type of situation? Why is it one way on one thing
Because
and one way on the other?
Yeah.
in the ETJ, the land use is designated as agricultural, so it's, I mean, that's what the ordinance has declared it, so.
Yeah, if it was
I-
declared
It's
I
also-
think
residential, that would be different.
Yeah.
Right. You're in an ag zone.
But I'm also residential.
Ag residential.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. I guess we're down to Lisa's report. Let's see, you got a busy month, like always.
Well, it seemed really busy, it seemed really short. I don't know where the time went, I don't know we were busy. I did end up in Lincoln for not quite a week, but for some training conferences to get my continuing education hours, and so I like to go to this one conference because I can get all 8 hours in the one deal, so. Have that done and submitted to the state auditor's office, so we should be good for another year. And really, I mean, I hate to keep saying it, but we're still just working through stuff. I have had a couple of meetings with Power Manager, our new software entity, on some key issues that are still hanging out there that we're not really able to move forward on, it seems like, without some help. And they informed me that they are kind of at the end of their ability to fix or help or overcome, or whatever word you want to use. So basically, we're stuck on how some of the data was brought in from the old system into the new system, kind of brought in chunks that don't make a ton of sense to us at this moment in time. And so we have asked Michael Hobach, our auditor, if he would step in and kind of help us get over that issue so that we can move on. So, to be continued, unfortunately. I would really look forward to the day that we're not talking about this anymore, but just for full transparency, we are still having a few issues. Most of the other issues Cody and I are generally able to work through. We got a few minor things that we stumble on here or there that we've put some tickets in for. But those aren't really slowing us down a ton. So it's really just this issue that will need to get resolved. And then outside of that, just looking forward, budget workshop is time is kind of coming
Just
up,
opening
and
our
I was
calendar.
gonna ask
I know
about that.
Michael's schedule fills
Yeah.
up fairly quickly, so.
24th, 25th is my only 2 days
Okay,
That you're available?
that I'm available.
July.
August.
August 20, 21,
We usually get our valuation around the 20th, and so it's kind of nice to wait and do the workshop until then, so that
Which
you
one
can
do
have
the
a
Black
good.
Hills? I have all white and all down.
Well,
I
that'd be
second
fun.
that motion.
We could talk about it up north.
I think Michael will come up there.
Probably.
Probably will. So, yeah, you wanna just see if he's available the 24th?
24th or 25th.
Yeah.
25th is no good for Heather, but 24th is good.
We usually do a day, don't we?
We usually do a
Like
day.
morning and afternoon, so we can, is that how, yeah.
I think we have done it that way, and maybe Michael comes in the afternoon, we meet in the morning, and then, is
A
that how
little
we did
break
that
for
last
lunch.
year? And then he came and met in the afternoon after we had our questions and
Yeah.
stuff.
I think that's how it went last year.
Well, I was, maybe I didn't remember now, I was thinking we did two, so we didn't have quorum, but we could just announce
We've
it
done
as a
that in
meeting.
years past, but last
We
year.
were
That's what we did
together
all
We
last
just
year.
announce it as a meeting.
And I'm okay with that. I like that better anyway.
Let's
Yeah.
just have
Yeah,
a
I
meeting, so
think
we're all
it's-
discussing it.
I
Yeah.
think it's better to have everyone
I
attend.
I
agree.
did too, I like that better.
So we
So,
wanna shoot for the 24th?
yeah, what time are you thinking?
Well, if you're flexible, I will probably just throw it to him and see what
Okay.
time he can be here, 'cause
I have nothing on my 24th, so yeah, I'm good.
Grand
All day
Island, most
24th?
likely.
Yeah.
I think he does work with Valentine too, maybe, so I don't know if he tries to coordinate the visits so we can share the travel. So I'll throw that to him, and I guess if that doesn't work, do we have an alternative date?
The 26th, or is that, he gave you these dates?
I picked these dates, just looking at the calendar and the way things have to be sent to the newspaper, and
Yeah,
with the
20
September
26th,
meeting.
27th works for me too.
I'd do it then before you get closer to the weekend. Well, that's not the holiday
The
weekend, so
26th works for me, the 27th does not.
26th,
I'd make that your backup, yeah.
Brad, does that work for you?
Yeah. That's a store meeting.
26th is our backup date.
Okay, well, I'm just making sure you don't double
That's
book.
easy.
I'm here all that week, as far as I know.
Yeah, I am too, so
Okay, but that's over the lunch
I'm,
hour, so I know.
I'm gone that weekend, but
It's-
we're doing weeks.
26 works for me as well.
Okay, well, we'll start with that,
I'm
and
gonna
I
put
guess
that in
if,
as a-
24th or 26th?
I'm gonna put that
if
in as a
neither of
backup
those
date.
is a go, I'll be sending an email and asking for other dates, so.
Okay.
Might yell at Dustin, but, yeah, hopefully they'll be done running if it's not quite that heavy then.
Might be slowing down by then.
I hope so.
You don't have the auditor come up for your budget workshop, do you? Oh, you do have the auditor
Yeah.
come up.
Goes through, it. Really does a good job.
Yeah, no, it's helpful.
Made more, yeah, it's just, it's more helpful when he's here to go through it.
He does the paperwork for us.
Well, and especially if he's got recommendations on which line items, you know, which will include
Moving
things.
around, yeah. It's been kind of nice the last couple years when he's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really nice last year. I feel like it was.
Okay, I put down both days, so.
Okay, and I will send that to him tomorrow and let you know as soon as I hear back something.
Sounds great, thank you.
Oh,
That's
nice.
it?
You know?
Well,
It doesn't feel like much, but it feels
that's
like
plenty.
a lot at the same time.
All right, well, I think we've covered everything, and we're gonna adjourn the meeting at 5:34. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Did you go see the precedent he set for you then, 5:34?
That may be right.
No,
Heather, you gonna golf tonight?
Yep. And I'm not even gonna have